Well, good evening, everybody. This is Sparky Mike. Welcome to the Ol'skool Reefer channel. Thought I'd give out a little bit of information. If you're an avid reefer, fish keeper, other than freshwater fish, never seen a need for peristaltic pump for freshwater, but I suppose if you had automatic pH adjustment, you could do that. But thought I'd give out a bit of information anyways about peristaltic pumps, which I had neglected for almost 3 years actually. Oops. So anyways, everybody's kind of getting ready for bed here. And I did a little gardening, aquascaping. If you saw the last video, it was pretty overgrown in this tank. So anyways, we'll move on. Oh, come on, give a broad view. Oh, I'm spooking him, his lines are coming out. So anyways, we'll head out here and on to the rest of the video. So, the other day, I should say, I noticed the peristaltic pump wasn't putting out like it should. And so I fiddled with it. And I even caught a video, bulk reef supply, believe it or not, and it was about peristaltic pumps and so on and so forth, and they said X amount of hours on the little tube inside the little squeeze tube. It's either made by company Tygon, I guess. They make a form of Masterflex, which is basically used in medical equipment, or there's PharMed, which I believe is made overseas, and that appears to be what is in my 2 peristaltic pumps. Well, 3 of them. You can get that on eBay. You can find it on Amazon. There's metric sizes and standard sizes. US Plastics sells a standard size. eBay, I found overseas there was a 3 and 5 millimeter and 4 and 6 millimeter being internal and external diameters on the tubing. You can also go with bulk reef supply, or Aqua Cave also sells the replacement tubes, pre-made, $6 a chunk. You can buy the whole roll of it. I think 10 feet of it or 5-foot chunks on eBay, Amazon. But it's peristaltic maintenance, peristaltic pump maintenance is what I'm headed for anyways. Thought I'd give a view of the upstairs tank tonight. What? What? Are you wanting outside? You can't go outside without a leash. I'm sorry. Just can't do it. No, you can't. Sorry. Anyways, we'll head downstairs and I'll continue on. So it came to my attention that after catching a video or two and blah blah blah, pump maintenance. The tubes, the replacement tubes, here's my old one basically. No, this is a piece of Masterflex that was like 20 years old that was disintegrating. But the replacement tubes in here, they will basically mash flat and go bad after a certain amount of time. Bulk Reef Supply, one of their informational videos, said about 2,000 hours. So I thought I'd put it out there that not everybody catches Bulk Reef Supply videos, and nor do they do the maintenance on their peristaltic pumps, especially one that runs continuously on my calcium reactor. So come to my attention, they said every 3 months or something to replace the tube inside of here. My tube basically went bad, and I substituted with a regular piece of food grade silicone tubing, similar to what they give you that attaches to the pump. Ran a piece in there for temporary, so I got to swap this out here tonight, which only takes a couple minutes. But anyways, every 3 months, 4 months, so they recommend. Believe it or not, I lasted almost 3 years or something without maintaining. So anyways, there was a bunch of crud and junk built up actually inside the tube. So at the very least, if you're going to run more than 6 months, you probably ought to find a really small pipe brush and try to clean out that tube, because it was full of crud, especially where it wasn't getting squeezed. And as little flow as actually goes through there, the junk builds up inside the tubing. In an emergency, like I said, you can use regular silicone tubing and make it work. 1/8" tubing, 1/8" internal, 1/4" external, 3mm internal, 5mm external. That's on this guy here. Like I said, I got a couple more of these tubes coming, so future reference, you should change them out probably at least every 6 months, because it is a piece of silicone and then it is going to wear, especially on this guy. 24/7 it's running. And they suggested changing out the pump wheel once a year or every 9,000 hours. Believe it or not, like I said, I think about 3 years of continuous use. So I figured the motor would probably burn out long before the external parts would wear, but here we are. So I would suggest buying one of these as a backup, or if yours is more than a year or especially 3 years old, probably ought to replace it. Of course, buy about 5 or 6 of those tubes while you're at it at $6 a piece from Bulk Reef Supply. You can probably get any other place to match it if they can find it or get it, since poor Marine Depot was bought up and put out of business. And while you're at it, if you're an avid reefer, you're probably going to have more than one peristaltic pump. So in my case, I use them for buffing. Use it as buffer. I have marine buffer on one side, reef buffer on the other. Reason for that is no alkalinity bump and an alkalinity bump. So depending on what you do with it. And of course the fluid sits in there idle at so much time, and actually the tubing that I had on here, which was a piece of Norprene, I believe, which was black tubing, it had actually turned hard, chemical reaction with it. So probably best to use food grade or better silicone. Even I guess they call it a platinum cured or peroxide cured. I think the peroxide cured is the food grade, so it's suitable apparently. So upgrade your pumps, or at least have a couple extras on hand. They're not too expensive, like $30 a piece, so always nice to have extras. The rollers do wear out. For lubrication, these are pre-greased from the factory, but you could probably use some, what would it be, silicone grease for plumbing fixtures, basically for faucets, for greasing the valves and stuff. It's kind of a thin silicone grease. You can use that for greasing. Unfortunately, you're not supposed to grease that, as it will collect all kinds of gunk because it is exposed to the air. Cat hair, dust is going to collect to it like a magnet. So you run them dry, so I guess another reason to change out that tube a little more often, I believe. Anyways, I thought I'd give a bit of information where it might need to be, and I know all of you out there, or anybody who's probably watching this, probably has a peristaltic pump or two, or maybe even 3. So there's a tip of the day for you. Anyways, I hope you all have a good evening. And enjoy whatever you're doing out there. Thumbs up, I always appreciate those. Subscribe if you want more. Leave a comment if you want me to tell you more or explain, demonstrate, ask a question. I'm always happy to answer if I know. I think I'm going to buy a couple clams and try that. I haven't had a couple clams in several years, so I will try my hand at clam keeping. And I'm still trying to hunt down a gold flake angelfish. So we'll see how that works out. And here's the god-awful refugium mangrove tank. Algae scrubber, whatever you want to call it. I got a bunch of egg crates over here on this side. I'm growing algae like crazy, pull them out, take pressure washer to them, high powered water, boil them off occasionally. This works really good, really quick. And mangroves are growing like crazy. I gave them a little more room in the back there. So. Of course, the baby shrimp are growing like mad too. Baby peppermint shrimp. So they're actually getting pretty good size. Wish we would focus a little better. Fat and happy. Well, I hope you all enjoyed the information. Like I said, bulk resupply, aqua cave. Unfortunately, there is no more marine depot. Well, we'll all regret that, I hope. Well, hopefully not regret that. So. Anyways, you all have a great night. Take care. Enjoy.